Hello again, YouTube. I'm sure you've been dying to know, where is she? What is she doing? What was that mysterious video she uploaded of being on a ride? What happened? Well, not much. I mean, some things have happened. I think that the last video I made, it was several weeks ago. Monkey, my best friend, is still here. I went to my grandfather's funeral. That was terrible. Obviously, I wasn't going to vlog that. I went through probably the darkest period of the past year in August, and I talked about it a little bit where it was like I was in an ambulance and things just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I just needed to take a little bit of time to recuperate, and so I did. If you have been following my blog, you might have seen a post I made a few days ago about how I've decided to be sober again, and I'm extremely serious about that. Basically what happened is I went to the Renaissance Festival. Well, no, that's not what happened, because the Renaissance Festival was the last straw for me. What happened was, last week, I had a really bad week with alcohol consumption. On Tuesday, I bought and finished a bottle of whiskey. It was a $15 bottle of Jameson, drank it all by myself on a Tuesday evening. And as you might imagine, didn't feel great the next day. Felt really great while I was drinking it, but didn't feel great the next day. And I was so fucked up the next day from being hungover that I bought a book about alcohol addiction. And if you've been following me on social media, if you've been following these vlogs at all, of course, I've been talking about my alcohol problems, let's see here, roughly the entire time. Because it's shocking, a recurring problem for me that I drink way too much. And I bought this book about alcohol addiction, and it's really kind of, look at how good he is. It's been making me think a lot about my choices and what it is that I think keeps me drinking, even though it so obviously has a really negative and destructive force in my life. So anyway, Tuesday I drank a bottle of whiskey. It's not a good idea. Then I think it was like Thursday or something, I went to a work happy hour and got fucking hammered again. Like, I woke up the next morning and I definitely had this moment where I was like, what did I say? What did I do? How can I look these people in the face? Like, that sort of thing. And it's like, okay, now I'm fucking with my job. So this whole time I'm like reading this book, And then, this Monday, it was Labor Day, and I went to the Renaissance Festival, and I don't know if you've ever been to a Renaissance Festival, but, there's a lot of drinking involved. And I got super wasted again, and it wasn't the worst, that's the thing, is that all of these things that happened, it wasn't the worst. I didn't get injured, I didn't fight anybody. I didn't actually do anything that I really regret, except drinking until I was sick. But yeah, and then, after the Renaissance Festival, I came home. I ordered a pizza at, 9 p.m., passed out, totally missed the pizza, woke up at 2 a.m. with, voicemails from the delivery guy, like, hey, what the fuck? I'm here with your pizza. And then I was up at it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just stayed up until 6 a.m. in bed thinking about my life choices and just feeling so sick and so miserable. And I had to go to work the next day, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I can sleep until about 8:30, and then I had to go to a dentist appointment and then go to work. And it was I fell asleep for a couple hours, and in my sleep, I had this horrible nightmare where I kept on waking up, and then something bizarre and horrible would happen, and I would realize that I was dreaming. And I'd like, pinch myself. I'm like giving myself, like twisting my arm and stuff to check that I'm actually asleep. And every time I'm like, oh my God, I'm asleep. I have to wake up. And I try and wake up, and then I wake up again. And I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm awake. I'm going to be late for work. And and like, for example, one of the times I got up, and Monkey was laying on the ground, and he started like stretching and stretching himself until he was like 4 feet long and like having a seizure and stuff. And I'm like, I'm having a nightmare. And it was like a recurring nightmare that I could not wake up out of. It's like I'd wake up and I think, oh, thank God it's over. And then things would just go wrong again. And I guess, like, to me, sort of symbolic for my relationship with alcohol. It's like I'm stuck in this cycle where it's like I go completely out of control, then I feel horrible, then uh then I go through a period of, okay, no, I'm really gonna get my shit together. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna quit drinking for a while, blah blah blah. And then I I have all these stresses and emotions that I'm not ready to deal with. And then I just think, well, one drink isn't going to kill me. And then I drink an entire bottle of whiskey. And then the process starts over again. It's called the cycle of addiction. And so I've decided that I don't need to quit drinking for a while. I need to quit drinking, period, for like the rest of my life. And so that's where I'm at right now. So basically, yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about. Just a bunch of cool and horrible shit happening in my life. My grandpa dying, obviously that's a bad thing. Um, just sort of dealing with my feelings about both of my grandparents dying in the past year, and also this cycle of addiction I'm stuck in. I guess the positives in my life are that I'm doing pretty well at my job, and I've met some exciting new people. I'm like hanging out with people. I'm doing fun things. This weekend, I'm going to go to another convention with my sister. I'm super excited. And then the weekend after that, I'm going back to the Renaissance Festival. But yeah, I just, I'm feeling like sobriety is the thing that I need to do right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I had a very interesting experience at work today. I had a flashback at work today. And so this is what happened. I've been sober for a couple days at this point. And at work, we had a lunch where it was like a corporate thing, basically. They were like, everybody, get Jimmy John sandwiches. And I was like, great, because I spent way too much fucking money at the Renaissance Festival. Oh, that's another thing that happened. That scam money I was waiting for, it totally came through. It was real. So I'm rich again, but I know I can't spend it. This is like an emergency fund that I cannot touch. But anyway, I spent way too much money at the Renaissance Festival, so I'm like, Lindy, you cannot spend another dollar. So I was like, oh, a free Jimmy John sandwich. Excellent. I'm going to show up with a smile on my face. So I'm eating this Jimmy John sandwich. And there's also like cookies and stuff. And I chose a triple chocolate chunk cookie, and I ate the whole thing. I knew it was way too sweet. I'm sensitive to sugar. If I drink a Red Bull, I'm like 9 times more likely to have a panic attack. And I ate this cookie, and immediately afterwards, I was like, oh, fuck. Just like totally overloaded with sugar. And like, I had a stressful meeting that I had to go to in like an hour. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, I'm not hungover. I'm totally sober. But I had this sugar rush that was just killing me with the anxiety I had about the meeting already. And I can tell that I am going to have a flashback if I don't do something about this. And so at my job, I've talked about this before. My boss is really cool. I have this allowance where I am allowed to walk away from my desk if I'm having symptoms. I'm allowed to leave my desk. I'm allowed to take time if I need to. So I took that time. I walked around the entire building. It's like a 7-story building. I walked a loop around every single floor for like a half hour. I'm just walking and walking and walking through the office, like trying to burn off some of this nervous energy. And it's just like, I know that I have to go to this meeting. And I think that it's like when I had to pull off the highway that time that I was in the ambulance earlier this month, is that I think that something that's very triggering to me is knowing that I'm in a high stress situation and I'm not going to be able to get out of it. Like, I had to go to this meeting. It was like a big announcement that they were making, and my presence was required. So I'm walking, and I just am not getting any relief. I am still at a 9 out of 10, and I just know that, I keep on saying to myself, okay, it's gonna get better. Just calm down. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe go talk to your coworker. Maybe go sit at your desk. Try and do some data entry. And you're going to calm down and it's going to be fine. And so I did everything that I could. I drank water. I walked around. I talked to a coworker. I did my data entry. I showed up at the meeting. And as soon as it started, I had to leave. I could just feel like the tension in the meeting. As soon as my boss started talking, I was like, no, I'm about to freak the fuck out. So I just looked at my boss. I was like, hey, I have to step away. Can we follow up about this later? And again, my boss, super cool. So she was like, yeah. So I walked out of the meeting and I went to one of the wellness rooms, which is a quiet, dark room where you can sit in and close a door. And like I work in like a millennial office, so it's like very nice. And so I'm like sitting in this room. I sat in the room for an hour and just really calmed down. I was telling myself over and over again, it's the sugar rush. I'm in control. I'm doing the things I need to do to take care of myself. And after an hour, I felt well enough to go back. And it was embarrassing. And it's pretty humiliating that I had to, again, this is the second time I've had to leave a meeting because I'm like panicking. And my coworkers don't know why. They know that I have some kind of health problem. And like, I'm fine with them thinking that, I don't know what they think. Maybe some things I've thought is maybe they think I have some sort of horrible shitting disease where I'm just off somewhere shitting my brains out. And I would rather have them think that than know that I'm trying to not have a flashback. So, but anyway, yeah, it was humiliating. I had to go back and sit down and just like, no one really asked me like, hey, what was that about? They all just kind of know that there's something wrong with me and it's embarrassing. And, but I did it. I went back, I sat down at my desk, I did my work, I felt in control, I did everything that I needed to do to take care of myself. I will know next time not to take the cookie. As I'm getting older, I apparently have a really serious sugar sensitivity that I was not anticipating as a young person. Like, I cannot drink an energy drink. I cannot have a cookie. If I like, it just sends my anxiety through the roof. And anyway, so I went back, I sat down on my desk, I stayed late at work. I came home, I went and saw one of these new friends that I have. And yeah, and I dropped off some stuff at his house and I came home and cleaned up a little bit and now here I am making a YouTube video and I feel okay. I feel like I handled this situation really well. And I'm also comforted by the fact that I really, really think that I am gonna be sober now. I don't know. Something about those hours that I spent laying in bed just awful, just feeling awful after the Renaissance Festival. And this book that I'm reading, I'm going to do that right now, by the way. So the book recommends that you read 1 to 2 chapters a day so that it's something that you read for a while and you have time to absorb the information. So I'm going to do, oh, excuse me. That's cute. I'm going to do that again right now. And yeah, so I just thought I'd make a little video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. Sorry I've been MIA. I've just been like doing life stuff, but I don't know. I sometimes I get all this like built up stress about making a YouTube video, which is just dumb because this is like I don't make money from YouTube. This is just a hobby of mine. But it's just been a while. I keep thinking like, oh, I should make an actual video about something. But sometimes you just need to talk into a camera. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you for watching, and I'll try and not have 3 weeks between now and my next video. Okay, bye.